来访不亦乐乎。今天的客人是谁呢？
繁华的旧金山市区里，鲜少人知道有一块区域叫做 Tenderloin， 它紧邻在旧金山知名的 union square 旁，部分最光鲜亮丽的商圈，如 Macy 和 Neiman Marcu 也包括在这一块区域中。Tenderloin 社区就藏在繁华三藩市里，是许多人不敢触及的一块危险角落。特别是在夜幕低垂时，旧金山暴力犯罪最多的地方，也就是在那里发生进行着。然而这块无人敢碰触的黑暗地带，却因着神的恩典，逐渐看见明亮的光。今天谁来做客的嘉宾 Roger Huang 牧师，35年前因为车子爆胎而被卡在了 Tenderloin 地区近20分钟之久。奇妙的一连串祷告与事件中，他看见了上帝对于翻转 Tenderloin 地区的心意。CDM Packet 的旧金山影响城市事工于是就在祷告中奇迹般的诞生了，带来了 Tenderloin 这块地区极大的改变，令人闻之丧胆之地翻转为生命改变之处。甚至到底35年来，在这块区域发生了什么变化呢？让 Roger 黄牧师来告诉您一个在城市的黑暗角落遇见光的真实故事。
观众朋友大家好，我是 Ann， 欢迎收看谁来做客。今天很开心 City Impact 的 Pastor Huang 来我们节目当中做客。 Welcome Pastor Huang。Thank
you, Ann. Thank you for having me here.
No problem.
And also to be with your viewers.
Sure. So at the beginning of the show, can you share with the viewers what's City Impact?
Well, San Francisco City Impact started 35 years ago.
Wow.
When I was driving by the Tenderloin in the city of San Francisco, and I was stuck in the Tenderloin for about 20 minutes because I had a flat tire.
Oh, okay. So you didn't intend to stop there?
No. And while I was waiting for the tow truck driver, I saw a boy who was being beat up by some older kids.
Wow.
But I didn't know what to do. And at that time, I just got a job. I was a Christian. And so eventually I drove away from that place to my house. But within 15 minutes, God spoke to me. He said, what if that was your son? What would you do?
Yeah, what would you do?
And I said, well, I would have jumped out of my car to rescue him.
Definitely.
And God said, for me, they're all the same. And when I got home, I told my wife, and she knew something had happened to me. And I just told her, I said, you know, this is what I saw, and I believe God wanted me to do something about it. So the following day, we made 50 sandwiches. I brought them to the Tenderloin, and that was 35 years ago.
Wow. So what do you do with City Impact in Tenderloin now?
Fast forward to where we are right now.
Right.
It's in phases. It hasn't been easy. I did not have any support. I was working as an auditor for Marriott Hotel and also Park 55.
Okay.
And so we decided to start fasting, praying, because nobody knew us. You know, you couldn't just go to a church and say, hey, can you support me? But we learned how to pray and fast.
But you have a vision, what you want to do at that time.
Yeah, I had a burden.
Okay.
I wanted to reach these kids. I didn't want anything. I just want to go in and tell them about God. And because I came to know the Lord at age 27 through a TV evangelist within 10 minutes. Okay. So it was a very radical transformation for me and my wife.
Sure.
So today we have elementary school from K through 8th. We have a medical and dental clinic. We have urgent care, social services, food bank, dining room for the homeless, cafe for the residents in the morning. This is all daily program from Monday through Friday.
Wow.
We also have a youth service, a Saturday for the children, and we have a community church for the people who live there.
Right.
On Sunday.
Right.
And we also have a very large volunteer center.
True.
Average about 7,000 to 8,000 people that come through every year.
Wow.
And in addition to that, we have a conference once a year where we invite all the believers in the Bay Area to come for that one day. We worship and we go into the streets of the Tenderloin and to serve in 45 different outreaches. And so that's what we do. And recently, this last 2 years, we started the intervention program for the special needs kids. And also we are going to be opening up a store. It's called the Threats for Therapy. For the kids and the moms, they can come, children's clothing store, but in the back we have a place where they can come together as a group.
Interesting.
So yes.
Wow, so it sounds like you have a lot now, but back to 35 years ago when you just started. So what did you do to start all this?
Well, I was very touched by that experience and also the conversation that God had with me.
Sure.
So it took me a few years to quit both jobs, and my wife quit hers. But because we read the Bible and we realized whenever you want God to do something very special, you have to fast and pray. And we started fasting and praying very frequently. I would go up to up north by Mendocino on the weekends, and I would pray and fast and ask God to give me a new journey.
Sure.
And that's when that incident happened. So we started going to the Tenderloin. What we did is we would go into the high-rise buildings, visit the families, pray with them. We did that for the first 10 years, just going to the buildings. I didn't really
want
the
schools
Yeah, I didn't want any programs. I just want to tell people about Jesus. But then over time, everything just started happening.
Sure.
Within those years.
Can you also share with the viewers what's Tenderloin like? Because some of the viewers might not know this place that much.
Sure. Well, Tenderloin community is in the city of San Francisco.
Sure.
And it has about 37,000 residents, low-income families, immigrants, live within 500 buildings. There's only maybe about a mile in each way. And we have average maybe, they say 8,000 to 9,000 homeless population every day. Major
so the
crime,
ratio is really high, right?
Very, very high because two of the largest feeding programs are right there in the Tenderloin. So, and also in addition to that, there are 2 to 3 major crimes every hour. So it's a dangerous place.
It is.
But if God puts his hand on you, he'll make sure you get the job done.
Definitely. Yeah. But what do you think Tenderloin is like that?
What do I think about the Tenderloin?
Yeah.
Personally, when I first got in there, I was not very comfortable to begin with. I just want to tell people about Jesus. I didn't want to have anything to do with the community. You know, my attitude was like, hey, I want to tell you about God. When we finish our prayer, I got to go. So I did that for 3 years. And then one day, as I was walking in the streets of Tenderloin, I felt very convicted, but I didn't know why. So I prayed, I said, God, why am I not happy? I'm here almost every day. He said, because you want to tell them about Jesus, but you don't want to be with them.
You're not part of them.
You're not, you don't want to assimilate into them. You don't accept them into your heart. You're just doing it just to please me, but I want you to know them.
Yes.
And so he was right, because I was very uncomfortable. So when I broke down within my heart, and I just cried, I said, God, I changed my heart. That's when I assimilate into their living situation. I got to know them. So we went from visiting these people in the high-rise buildings to having all these programs.
So what was the first thing you did after you changed?
First thing we did is to start a rescue mission. The homeless a dining room, which I was not very comfortable with.
Why not?
Because I never, we go to restaurants,
Right.
even fast food restaurants, but we don't cook to feed people we don't know, right? So that was a very, very exciting transformation for me.
Yeah.
And I got to know a lot of them.
Right.
And that was the beginning of everything.
And then in 1997, you established a school there, and that was the first school in Tenderloin. I was just wondering, why didn't Tenderloin have a school before?
Well, they used to bus about maybe 4,000 children from the Tenderloin to 40 different public schools.
Wow.
In the Bay Area.
Wow.
And they would even bus some of the kids to Treasure Island. And there's just no facility for them, because
so
everything is all high-rise buildings.
Right.
And what happened is when I got off work one day and I was driving through the Tenderloin, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting in my car looking at the kids all lined up on the sidewalk waiting for the school bus. Every block it would be like 30 kids here, 40 kids there. But it was cold. It was, right in the early morning. No one was watching them. And everyone, you got people shooting up. You have people that are not very, very nice. So I was sitting in the car and I said to myself, this won't happen in any other neighborhood in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Only in the Tenderloin. But I'm not an educator. I'm an auditor and then now, pastor. But I pray, and we prayed for a while, and we started the school with 6 kids. Wow. And that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I believe the history of the school is full of miracles. Can you share with us some of the miracles?
Yeah, we, I didn't go there because I wanted to accomplish big things. I just wanted to do something for God, reach the kids, pray with them, pray with the parents, pray with the homeless, give them food. And I didn't really want to start anything there permanently. But then I saw a building right there on Jones, 230 Jones, Musicians Union building, 3-story. And I felt like I needed to approach them if they want to sell it. And just so happened, it was on the market.
Okay.
It was on the market for one point.
And you didn't know?
Well, I saw a sign, but I didn't think about it until God said, hey, you need a building. And so, but I didn't have any money, nothing. And then eventually I got hold of the president of the Musicians Union and I talked to him for only 5 minutes. I said, sir, I would like to buy this building. He didn't even bother to look at me. I think he knew.
Did he know that you're a pastor? And
he knew I didn't have any money.
Right.
That's why he didn't want to look at me.
All right.
But he said, go talk to the broker. I called the broker. I told him I was interested. And he was also very suspicious. And he said, where are you going to get the money?
Yeah.
Now remember, I just got saved about close to 2 years. So I was a brand new Christian.
Yeah.
And when you're a brand new Christian, you know that God can do anything, right?
Yeah.
When you're older Christian,
you might lose the passion a little bit.
God, you think God can do some of the things.
Right.
So I was so excited. I said, well, I'll get it from God. He was not very comfortable.
Okay.
We signed the offer. Then he left. And I went back and I told my wife. She said, okay, great, but Roger, where is the money?
Yeah.
Then, to make long story short, we fasted 40 days. 40 days.
Your wife was very supportive.
Yeah, she got saved the year before me. She's a stronger Christian.
Yeah.
Even this day, she's still a stronger Christian.
Right. It's so wonderful that both of you have the same vision and work
so we
together.
fasted for 40 days. And then at the end of the 40th day, some elderly ladies from the Nob Hill came down looking for me. I had never met them. And these were Asian ladies. They said, hey, you know, we heard about you wanting to get this building for Jesus. Is that true?
Wow.
I said, yeah. They spoke Cantonese. I spoke Mandarin, so we didn't really connect.
Okay.
But they just pointed to the building, and they just kept on saying Jesus. And I said, yeah, Jesus. And they pulled out their checkbooks, and they started writing me checks, 20,000, 15,000, 5,000. And then they invited me to their Nob Hill mansion on the following Wednesday to pray with them. The following Wednesday, I went into this beautiful home on Nob Hill, looking over the bay. When I got inside, I heard a loud noise, like really loud. Everybody just, it was just noise. I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I walked all the way down the hallway, went into the big living room, and I saw about maybe 40 to 50 Asian ladies praying in the spirit.
Wow.
And the host, May Chen, she saw me. She said, come over here with your wife. Please kneel in front. We want to lay hands on you. And they pray over us. And then she said this to me. She said, we have been praying in this home for over 30 years. That God will send somebody to the Tenderloin. Wow. When we heard about you, God said, go find that man. That's the man you guys have been praying for.
That was so amazing.
Then one of the ladies, they gave me some more personal checks.
Yes.
One of the ladies in the group said, please come to my house. My husband would like to see you. So the following week, I went to her house in Sunset District. I got inside the living room. He was sitting right there on the chair. He said, would you please come here and hold my hand? So I got close to him and realized he was blind. He grabbed my hand. He said, I made a lot of money in Macau years ago, but God told me to hold it. And he said he was going to release it one day. Wow. When my wife came home, and she told me about you wanting to get this building for Jesus, the Holy Spirit said, that's the man. Give him the money. So he grabbed my hand really tight. He said, are you the man? And I said, yes, I am the man. So he told his wife, he said, go get the stuff. She gets up, goes behind, there was a room with a curtain.
Yeah.
She went in there for a few minutes, comes back out with a bag of gold coins.
Wow.
They handed it to me. So with the gold coins, all the checks, we got that building. But by then, the building, the price of the building dropped from 1.2 to $660,000.
That's a big drop.
That's a big drop. If you look at 1997, there was the market crash.
Yes.
So anyway, we got the entire building. And so we've been using that for the school. And then God opened another building that we put $100 down. And there's another 3-story building.
Right.
And 5 years ago, God opened up another amazing property. We have a parking lot, a 4-story building, and then we have hotel, and then the storefront.
Wow.
So we've been using it for the work of God right there in the Tenderloin. It's just been amazing, and we've seen how lives have been transformed, and we've seen young people being transformed, homeless that used to come here.
Right.
Some of them are now full-time volunteers working with us.
They're proud of you now.
Yes, they're part of God's family.
Sure. And you said that you just started with 6 students for that school. So how many do you have now?
Well, right now for this school year, we're going to be ending the school year. Right now we have about 93.
Wow.
Yeah, last year the school year was about 120, and you know, just average about that many.
Right.
But for this coming year, we're going to have, because we'll have different programs now.
Sure.
We have intervention program, and we are looking into a STEAM program. STEAM program is the science, art, and all that stuff.
Sure.
And then I think we're going to be looking at about maybe 125 enrollment.
That's good. So what's the mission of the school, and what's the core values that you want to teach these kids?
We have a tagline, and that is the mission statement.
Okay.
Changing one life at a time. We don't want to do big stuff.
Sure.
Because usually the big stuff is a show. want to get to know that kid, their mother, the homeless, the young man, anybody. We have to know them by name, and we have to know what it is that they're struggling, what it is that they need, so we can help them.
Right.
We don't want to be just a handout,
Sure.
Organization.
Definitely.
I want to prepare them because they don't have a chance. So these kids, they come to our school. The tuition is from $50 a month to $110 a month.
But you offer a lot of scholarship, right?
Yeah, this is what we do because the private education in San Francisco for one child is about $800 a month to $1,400 a month. But they only pay about $50, $70, $90, $110.
Right.
Because we do sponsorship. We go to churches, we ask them, would you like to sponsor a child for $38?
Yes.
So we do sponsorship and they just have to pay, a low tuition.
Yeah.
But it's a people don't think it's a real school. It's a real school.
It is.
All of our teachers all have a college degree and teaching credential.
Definitely.
Our principal graduated from Stanford, and then a few of them from other universities.
Sure. So what are the core values you think these kids might benefit from, or your school is focusing on?
Well, we give them quality education, a place of refuge. When they come to the school from 7:30 until 3:30, it's a place where they feel protected. Now, the kids in other neighborhoods, they couldn't wait to go home.
Yeah.
Right? Because to them, home is a place of fun.
Right.
But these kids, they don't want to go home. There's like 3 or 4, 5 or 10 live in a little studio. And the apartment building that they're in can be very dangerous. We have come across with some very tragic incidents, horrific stories. So we try to help them as much as we can. But that place is a place of refuge, and we provide lunch for them, healthy lunch, and we teach them about Jesus.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can have money, education, influence. If you don't have God, you don't have anything. God is our protector. He's our provider. He's the one that will lead us every step of the way. So we give them very firm foundation on having that real relationship with Jesus.
Yes.
And we have every Wednesday we have chapel for them.
That's wonderful. After 35 years, have you noticed any change in Tenderloin?
Tremendously. When I first got there, the Jones and the Eddie and the Turk, Taylor, McAllister, Golden Gate Avenue, the whole area was a very violent district. But now if you go there, if you stay there in the area for about maybe 10, 20 minutes, you begin to wonder, wow, this is very peaceful. Because we have our buildings in about 5 different locations.
Yes.
And people know, that we're all about God. We're all about helping them. And so you can see the difference. It's amazing.
Has the crime rate dropped a lot, or?
Now, outside of our safe zone,
Sure.
it's worse. It's worse. And because the city has gentrified a lot of places, like Hunters Point, Mission Bay, so many thousands of homeless population, and the very poor people, they congregate in the Tenderloin every day. So, I mean, there's no way that we can meet the needs of everyone.
Sure.
But we're going to try everything.
Definitely.
And do the best we can.
Definitely.
We want to make sure that our service to every one of them is quality and excellent.
Sure, definitely. Definitely. So for the future, do you have any plans?
Like I said, we want to increase the quality of our services. So, because when you increase the care whether it's medical or dental or dining room or education, you can see the transformation in a greater way. But if you just have an average service, then you don't really see a real transformation. So instead of me just praying for you, I want to get to know you. Like, what is it? What are you struggling with? Sometimes they can't even pray. They don't have a place to live. Yes. Or the place they live is dangerous. People break in through the doors at night, and they don't have medical help. They don't have dental help. They don't have assistance from the government. That's why we have a social services. We have a department that will help them to get all the help they can. Right. In addition, of course, to the spiritual. You know, when somebody's struggling, when their minds are gone, you know, you pray with them, they don't even understand what it is that you're praying for. Yeah. So it's a holistic approach. You want to help them, physical need, mental, spiritual, whatever they need will help them just to restore that one person. Sometimes it takes time.
I'm really touched by what the City Impact and what Pastor Huang has done for Tenderloin. I believe a lot of viewers must be so touched by you too. So if they want to do something for City Impact, what can they do?
Well, they can sign online, sfcityimpact.com, and they can volunteer in different places. If they've been teachers before, they can come and tutor the student 1 hour a day, half a day, 1 day a week, 1 day a month. Or they want to come. If you're preachers, they can come and preach. We have services every day. They can help us with commercial kitchen. We need cooks, but good cooks.
Oh, well.
But they can always do a lot of different things. We have a food bank. They can help us sort. Right. And if they're prayer warriors, we need them because prayers, it's the key that will break what's going on in the community.
Yes. And Pastor brought a book, right? Can you want to
Yes, this book came out a few years ago, Chasing God. It's a book of my story and how the City Impact came about. Yes. But I wanted to remind the viewer that has nothing to do with City Impact or any kind of human accomplishment. This is all about God's grace.
So wonderful. Thank you for coming, Pastor Huang. It's so wonderful.
Thank you. You're welcome. Good to be with you and good to be with your viewers.
也谢谢观众朋友们今天的收看，有朋来访，不亦乐乎。我们下期节目再见。